The COVID-19 outbreak has ruptured the hospitality industry in the entire world. The deadly pandemic led to the shutdown of hotels and restaurants, universities and colleges, suspension of flights, trains, cancellation of activities in the hotels, and more. Further, the extension of the nationwide lockdown in order to contain the virus plagued the hospitality professionals across the country with questions, doubts, and uncertainties regarding their future. In the midst of prevailing crisis, the School of Hospitality Management, Uttaranchal University, is conducting this webinar to answer the questions that are raising anxiety among all those who are related directly or indirectly to the hospitality industry. Let's begin.
A very good morning to all. Namaste and a very warm welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us on today's webinar. My name is Surendra Singh Bakuni, member of faculty, School of Hospitality Management, Uttaranchal University, one of the best colleges of hotel management in India. First, I would like to welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Rajesh Bhoguna, without whose guidance and leadership, this webinar would not be possible, and request him to speak a few words and provide us all with his opening remarks.
On the occasion of this webinar on post-COVID-19, new norms in hospitality industry, today's keynote speaker, Mr. Abrol, Principal of School of Hospitality Management, Uttaranchal University, Mr. Manish Badoni, all the faculty members of Hotel Management Institute from this university and other universities. Dear participants, I am taking this privilege to extend my greetings to all of you and also to welcome you on the behalf of Uttaranchal University family. You all are welcome in this webinar.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words of encouragement. They mean a lot to us. Thank you once again. Moving ahead, the title of the webinar today is Post-COVID-19 New Norms in Hospitality Industry. And I have the great pleasure of introducing Mr. Tushar Abrol as today's guest and keynote speaker. During his 15 years of work in the hospitality industry, Mr. Abrol has been part of one of the most prestigious hotel groups in India and abroad, the Taj Group of Hotels. Mr. Abrol has been working as the Learning and Development Manager for the Taj Group of Hotels since 2010. He had done his MBA in Hospitality Management. He joined Taj Group of Hotels as a management trainee in 2005 and has been part of this esteemed organization since then. Mr. Abrol is one of the best speakers in the industry and has been invited in several webinars to share his ideas. And today, he will be sharing with us his expert opinion on the future of hospitality industry post-COVID-19. Just a little housekeeping notes before we get started. If the participants have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box in your Zoom control panel. We will have time for question answer round at the end of the presentation. Now, without further ado, I'll turn the time over to Mr. Tushar Abrol.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bakuni, and thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity. I welcome all of you to this webinar on post-COVID-19 opportunities, I would say. Before I do anything else, let me just share my screen in a while. But nonetheless, so you see the point of connecting today with all of you is to apprise you about what's happening in the industry. I know there are a lot of anxieties, questions, and we being in the industry at the moment, in the hotels, in Delhi especially, we are seeing what things are changing in the industry. And these changes, please understand, some of these changes may be temporary, but some of these will actually last for a long time. And hence, it's important for all of us, industry, students, faculty, education sector, and hotel industry operations, to be on the same page. Because whether it is the new age skills that we need to know what they are. May I request you to be on mute, please? Yeah, so either it is new age skills that are important for us to know, or whether it is about job opportunities, even if it is about what operationally is changing in the hotels. I know there have been a lot of videos and messages floating all over the internet, and you see that when hotels opening back, whether it is ITC, Taj, Oberoi, Marriott, you see all the hotels are opening back with a lot of changes. So it's important for us at this point to understand what these major changes are, why these major changes are, and how they impact us. Okay, so now let me just share a short presentation with you, which will just set a context for our discussion. So we will divide this presentation into 3 parts. First, we will talk about the context, the background, and then we will talk about some important points to note from the student's perspective and what skills they need to learn. And thirdly, we'll talk about some operational changes in hotels and restaurants.
So you can try sharing the screen now, sir.
Yes, I'm able to now. Thank you. So before I take you to this presentation, I'll show you a small video about the company that I work for. And as you can see, we very popularly say Tajness is our service philosophy. But in these challenging times, we've actually redefined Tajness as a commitment re-strengthened. So before I talk further, let me show you a glimpse of what promise we have done towards our customers. Right. So that was just a glimpse of how we are trying to instill the confidence in our guests about the new normal operations in our hotels. It's time to balance between hospitality and safety, and hence we are marketing our new measures before our customers. So getting best practices. We have in the last 2-3 months we've actually spent time in researching best practices around the world. Whether it is WHO guidelines, Ministry of Tourism guidelines, we're also learning from a lot of hospital processes. We are training to delight safely. So a lot of staff, in fact, every associate has been retrained. So these are times of unlearning and relearning. So everyone has relearned hospitality. So the way we made, sorry, just a moment.
Mute कर रहा हूँ मैं maximum mode.
Yes, so the way you made a bed, for example, the way you made a room in the pre-COVID era would be different from the post-COVID era. The way you would take an order, the way you would seat a guest, the way you would take an arrival experience or a check-in experience would vary from before and after. So these are the subtle changes that we've trained our associates on. We've invested a lot of time in creating SOPs, new manuals, new standards, and these are times of training our associates into that. And we are maintaining a fine balance between hospitality and safety. Because while on one hand, hospitality is all about care and warmth, today the guest expectation has changed. And today the guest wants safety first. So from touch to technology is the third point. In the last many years, hospitality has not been very advanced in India, especially when it comes to technology. But I think these times have taught us that we can still do a lot of things which are paperless and with a lot of use of technology, whether it is the use of iPad, whether it is use of QR code for scanning the menu and seeing the menu on your own smartphone. So all these practices have now come into being. Probably the time has forced us to think differently and come up with these new technology innovations. We have added room for safety. So there is a lot of focus on physical distancing while doing service. There are safer rooms. So a lot of disinfection, new chemicals have come in, new equipment has come in, new cleaning procedures, new waste segregation, waste management practices. And a lot of this has also been learned from hospitals. So for example, earlier we did not know that there is something called as a bio-waste bin. But today we segregate our waste into wet, dry, and also bio-waste with different color codes. So there is a yellow bin, there's a red bin, etc. So these new learnings have happened. There have been new policies which have been adopted, both for guests, associates, vendors entering the premises. And at the same time, we also have initiatives towards the community. So we are also serving, for example, meals for the community, a lot of packed meals for medical practitioners, etc. So that continues to remain at the core of our company. Now taking you into a little more general presentation, that was just a glimpse about the company I work for, which is the Indian Hotels Group, Taj Group. Now let me take you through some statistics before we move forward. So as you know, most of the areas, most of the countries, cities are not under lockdown now, but definitely there are a lot of travel bans. So for example, in India, you are seeing some cities going back into lockdown. There are some cities which are luckily COVID-free also, and the hotels are opening up over there. So depending on countries, depending on cities, things are changing. And we have to keep a close watch on which city, which destination is opening up. See, this is not permanent. And in the last couple of months, some places have really opened up very well. And hotels have also started getting customers. So these are good signs, positive signs, but it's just that it's not uniform across. So we have to keep an eye where the customer is. Similarly, currently, we're not getting international travelers, except the Vande Bharat guests who are on quarantine. But apart from that, domestic travel segment has started moving, at least within the city. Guests are moving out on excursions, resort getaways. So those businesses have opened up. The focus will be on personalized delivery of low-touch services, digital access. There will be a lot of focus on efficiency in terms of use of manpower, use of financial resources. So use of all the resources will be at a challenge, because every hotel is right now struggling with even breaking even the hotel or the restaurant. So while the hotels are now opening up slowly, the guests may be very limited. So for example, if you're a 250 room hotel, unless and until you get 70 rooms at least, you will be running into a loss even by opening the hotel for 5 guests or 10 guests. So every hotel will be under stress, every business will be under stress, and everyone will try to make the maximum use of the resources that they have. So efficiency will be the buzzword. There is a need to build confidence in the market, in the guests, and only those businesses will thrive where the guests will feel confident in going. So this fear in the market, the fear in the mind of the customer has to be eradicated. Destinations which are COVID-free or will be COVID-free, it's going back and forth, but as and when a city or a destination gets COVID-free, they will be luckier in terms of getting better business. There will be a lot of focus on safety, hygiene, sanitization and cleaning aspects with the help of the government. Travel zones will open up phase-wise. They will be focused on reinforcement, key revenue initiatives, zero-based costing, asset and management, and last, financially prudent. While we see a lot of hotels doing a lot of things, this is not it will not be a rat race really, and you cannot directly adopt practice from another company and copy, because every destination is different, every market is unique, every business is unique. So every hotel, every business will have to think uniquely how to bring back business in its own market. Remember, shops are closed, but minds are not closed. So these are opportunity times, and we have to think out of the box to drive business. With the help of technology, there are a lot of new concepts which have come in, which were earlier not, especially in 5-star market, were not present. So earlier we would, want the guests to come to the hotel. We were shying away from delivering food through Zomato, Swiggy. We left that only to standalone restaurants. But today, even five-star hotels have no choice. So today, if you see, just last week, Taj Group launched an app called Qmin for its own home delivery of food. And now following that, even Marriott and Marriott already has. Oberoi is also launching. So these are kinds of new ideas, new concepts. So whether it is takeaway, home delivery, hospitality at home, bartending at home. So these are new ways where we are bringing hotels into the guests' homes if they are not comfortable coming to the hotel. So these are times of new experiments, new challenges, new opportunities. And we have to be creative and innovative to come out of this. So time to convert challenges into opportunities. Like you see, we have a post from Ms. Renu Basu from IHCL, who says that, just because international travel is not traveling doesn't mean that we lose focus of the other travelers. So focus on your domestic travelers, local travelers, non-resident guests, food and beverage. These are your opportunities currently. So like you see in Europe, even in India, different cities will open up in different times, different states will open up differently. We just have to keep a close watch and accordingly play into businesses in various destinations. Now, the second part of this presentation will talk about new age skills and traits required. I think this will especially be important for the learning community, the student community who's aspiring for the first time jobs. It will also be important for our existing workforce because they need to understand that who's the, supposing an organization lays off because of crisis, etc. The first person to get laid off is somebody who is, who has a very little learning, but somebody who can actually handle multiple roles or a larger bandwidth is the one that the company will want to retain. So if you are multi-talented, if you have skills of, let's say a chef can actually handle 2 cuisines rather than 1, will be preferred over another in these challenging times. So some of the skills and traits that we expect in the workforce in the future, at least in the next 2-3 years, one will be about agility. Agility is all about being constantly ready for change. As we speak, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We don't know what will happen next month. We are all not forecasting for next 1 year anymore. We are forecasting for next week. We don't know what will happen next week. So this is the kind of change that we are witnessing, which we are not used to. So at every level, whether you are an associate, supervisor, manager, MD, at every level you have to be flexible and quickly adopt to the new normal, to the change. So that skill of agility is very important. Second is about being innovative. These are times of creativity, innovation. So every hotel is trying to come up with new processes which are contactless, which are more safe, which are technology driven, more efficient. So these are times of experimenting with new technology, new innovation. And innovation is not just technology. It's all about coming up with new ideas to drive business also. So we have to think differently to be able to succeed. The old rules will not apply. The old formulas will not work. Safety and hygiene first mentality. So we will not be leaving this to housekeeping anymore. But I think every manager, every associate, every person, whether it is our own employee or a vendor, anybody who's working in that area has to disinfect their own places, their own equipment, their own areas. And this is for your own safety. So, we will have to focus not just on doing our regular work, but also keeping our areas clean, and not just clean, also disinfected all times, because it will just take one infection or one case for the entire hotel to shut down. So everyone has to be conscious. Everyone has to be careful. Fourth is about being sustainable. So like I said, about being efficient, making the maximum use of your resources, people, time, and money, because every hotel wants to make money. Everyone wants to break even. There have been huge losses in the past, which we have to cover up. And that is why, businesses will focus on this a lot. And we have to support, as an employee, I have to support my company in making more money. Learning mindset is about unlearning and relearning. So like I said earlier, what we learned earlier, maybe 1 year back, is not relevant today. Maybe the chemicals have changed. Maybe the way you make a room has changed. Maybe the way you do billing has changed. So maybe the way you take a reservation order has changed. So there are subtle changes. While the basic hospitality remains the same, there are a few changes in the SOPs in different organizations. And we have to adapt to the new changes in these processes. Sixth is about being patient and resilience. These are stressful times. The more calm we are, the better we are able to think. So we have to stay calm, handle stress at a personal level to be able to tolerate this ambiguity. Seventh is about being strong in business sense. So while a restaurant manager makes the restaurant very well, he also has to make a lot of a profit in the restaurant. So a spa manager has to not just make the guests happy through the spa offerings, but also ensure that she does business. So every manager, whether you're a duty manager, restaurant manager, some departments are revenue departments, some departments can contribute by saving cost. So everyone has to chip in, help the business overall. The eighth skill is about understanding the new guest expectations. Guest expectations have changed. So to give you some examples, safety first. Every guest would now want to go to a hotel which they feel is more safe rather than going to a hotel which is more, hospitable. Automated check-in, expanded sanitization. Some hotel which is more flexible. So if you charge retention to a guest, to a poor guest whose flight got cancelled because of this situation, he will not want to come back to you. So you have to be a little more flexible in these times with the guests also. And stay in touch with them, be transparent, tell them what you're doing. There are talks about hotels actually displaying their kitchens through CCTV cameras in guest rooms so that guests can actually see what goes on in your kitchen. So these are times of not hiding, but being more transparent with your guests. That will instill more confidence in them to come to you. The ninth point is about being strong in your interpersonal skills. So if you have a team under you, if you're a supervisor, or even if you are working in a team, how well are you in teamwork? These are times of helping each other out, respecting each other. Everybody is working under stress, so we need to also understand and respect each other, especially in these times. The 10th skill is about dealing with new age technology. So how comfortable, for example, are we using a digital way of learning and doing a webinar? How comfortable are we with using different apps, smartphones, new softwares, scanning and sharing files with the customer, receiving files from the customer on an iPad or on a phone. So these are times of people who are able to use new technology, and not just, I think in every interaction, in every guest interaction, even staff processes, vendor processes are now going digital. And finally, the 11th one is about multitasking, being able to widen the scope of work by upscaling. So if someone can handle the role of 2 more people, you are in demand because you can actually help your business a lot. So, we are today talking about boundaryless hotels, boundaryless departments, which means you're not working for front office or housekeeping or for food and beverage, you're working for the hotel. So it may happen that you're actually working for all departments, or you're working for 5 departments or 3 departments. So you are an associate of a hotel. We are not attaching you to a department. Let's say we stop the concept of departments. You are just working for a hotel. So these are times of thinking differently, realigning your organization structure, realigning your departments, job titles, job roles, so that one can do what earlier 5 could do. And that will actually require all of us to learn new skills, new departments, multi-skilling. This will require a lot of work by all of us. Now I'll give you examples of a few hotels and what strategies they are using on the shop floor when it comes to operations. So technology, like I said, so whether it is check-in or check-out or taking the order, everything is getting digital. Even sharing of ID card, sharing of passport details, even registration card, everything is getting digital, and there is less use of paper. There's no touch point. We are trying to have minimum touch as much as possible. Even menus are now uploaded on the televisions of the room in the guest rooms, or you see a QR code by which the guest can see it on his phone. So everything is touchless. Even the billing is touchless. We are encouraging use of CC Avenue and other digital modes of payment and avoiding cash or credit cards. We see a lot of innovation in terms of food delivery applications. So Taj launched Qmin last week, which is an online food ordering app. I think it will start in few cities first and then the rest of the country. And then you also already have Marriott on Wheels. Oberoi is planning to launch a new one as well. So these are times when food delivery will become a trend. So the way you present the food, even to the customer at home, will be a matter of new opportunity. In-room dining, if for the guests who are actually staying in the hotel, they're avoiding to come to common public places. So in-room dining is the new trend as we see. In-room dining is also not actually in-room dining; it's actually indoor. I mean, it's just door delivery up to your doorstep. So, like you saw in the video, there is completely no entering of the associate in the guest room. You serve till the doorstep. The guest helps himself inside the room. So there is, of course, a balance between safety and hospitality here also. So guests either want private spaces, private dining areas where there is less contamination chances. So that's why in-room dining is currently a hit. There is a digitalization of menu. So you see menu on emails, WhatsApp, social media, phones, tablets, smart televisions, pictorial, video. So there is no touch again. There's no collateral. In the room also, if you see, we have eradicated stationery, unnecessary stationery kits, minimum amenities in the room so that it's one-time use. Even the toiletries, if one guest has left the room and he's checked out, the new guest, first of all, will not get the room for the next 24 hours. So there is a resting period of 24 hours minimum between one guest to the other guest. So after complete disinfection, the next guest checks in and everything gets replaced in the room. So nothing from the old guest, no amenities which have not been used by the earlier guest, they still may have been touched. So everything gets replaced. So just to avoid cost, we are not printing these things. Everything is getting digital. So the cost of replacing and cleaning gets minimal. Hygiene is the new essential. So there is a lot of stringent focus on cleaning schedules. And like I said, cleaning is now different from disinfection schedules. Every 45 minutes to 1 hour is what we are saying by all departments. And 2 hours we are saying for common public areas. But constant sanitization depending on the traffic and movement in your hotel. There are new chemicals, new machinery, new waste management processes. You see a lot of people wearing PPEs, personal protective equipment. So use of gloves, masks, face shields, and also how you discard all these. Which bin do you put them in? How do you wear a mask? How do you dispose it off? A lot of focus on hand hygiene. How often do you wash your hands? Before changing uniform, after coming out of the locker room, also in your work areas, how often do you, after dealing with every guest, after touching every, let's say, a bill folder, you still have to change your hand, wash your hands. After every clearance, you still have to, again, follow your hand hygiene. So hand hygiene of 40 seconds is what we're recommending as per the new guidelines. So focus on hand hygiene and overall hygiene, disinfection. This is the most important, which will keep all of us safe. And all departments come in over here. A lot of training of associates through various ways. A lot of that has gone digital in hotels which are not open. So a lot of virtual classes are happening even before the associates join back the hotel. And for those who are in the hotel, there are again competitions, awareness, posters, campaigns, so that every associate, whether he's on your roles or whether he's a contractual associate, everybody, nobody can make a mistake. Anybody, even a vendor who's just visiting to supply something in your hotel, if he is positive and he's not followed the processes, then all of us are at stake. So every vegetable supplier, everybody is important. And we have to keep a check on everyone entering the hotel, even a guest entering the hotel or an associate or a vendor entering the hotel. Everyone has to be trained and follow our new processes. In the restaurant, you see social distancing. So first of all, the covers, overall covers have got reduced. So by about 50%. And there is a lot of distance between the tables. We are not offering seat assistance because of contactless service. So we are keeping the chair away from the table already. We are avoiding buffets wherever we can. Even if there is a buffet, there is a single associate who is serving everybody so that everybody is not touching the ladle. And the food is now pre-plated and not platter to plate. There is hardly any water service or beverage service on the table. So everything is pre-plated. The drinks are pre-poured and then brought to the table. I gave you some examples of how companies are actually marketing all these measures on their social platforms. So I gave you an example of Taj. Similarly, you see the Oberoi Group and other hotels also. Every company is trying to market their practices so that the customer feels confident in coming back to them. Similarly, you see some advertisements by Marriott and ITC. So everyone is going all out to win back the confidence of the customer. Only then they will be able to survive in this market. But I think everyone in this industry, everyone is, in fact, this industry is as a completely one team. They have taken this challenge of reviving the industry, and all of us are taking equal steps in ensuring that the guests come back and we are ready to serve them with safety as well as with hospitality. So victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. Necessity is the mother of invention. And remember to at least in these times, unlearn and then relearn what you have learned earlier, because we have to upgrade our skills and learn new skills as we go ahead. So with that, I come to the end of the presentation.
So I'll move ahead, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for your presentation and for sharing your knowledge and valuable thoughts. We appreciate having our doubts and confusions being clarified today. The slides, the presentation you have showed us gave us a close look on the future of hospitality industry post COVID-19 that we couldn't have gained from anywhere else, I believe. I mean, the participants will agree with me. The presentations you have made were like great, and the piece of knowledge we have gained from these presentations was again very good. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Now I would request the principal of School of Hospitality Management, Mr. Manish Bodoni, to share his thoughts and views on the topic with all the participants.
Thank you, Bhakuni sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm extremely sorry for the odd timing of the webinar. I know anything just before and after lunch is boring, and it's not easy to digest. Okay, when talking about COVID-19, the very first case that was reported in India was on 30th January 2020. And from that day onward, the number of cases started growing at a very fast pace. And to safeguard the interest of the common citizen of India, the government declared a complete lockdown. Everything comes to a standstill. The transportation, schools, colleges, hotels, parks, gyms. Only medical stores, hospitals, and shops with essential items were allowed to open. In line of this, we all appreciate the swift decision made by the central government to put the country on a complete lockdown effective 24th March 2020. This has significantly slowed down the growth rate and given us a time to ramp up our medical facility and plan for the future. But it has a catastrophic effect on the country's economic activity. When I'm talking about economic activity, the worst damaged part was hospitality industry. But now the hotels are opening up for economic activities. The hotels, as Mr. Tushar has said, they need to focus on few things. The most important, winning the trust back of the customer, following new norms and strictly adhering to it in our own interest and the customer's interest. And the most important thing, training the staff according to the need of the time. Hospitality institutions have to make modifications in the course curriculum. The development of curriculum needs to be around the sense of responsibility while preparing the students for industry to work under crisis. The educators need to add on the newfangled vocabulary and procedures used by the hospitality industry, such as clinically clean, sanitized clean, along with the meaning of aesthetically clean and general safety. Delivering the contactless service to guests, especially while serving food, hygiene, care while food preparation, kitchen area need to be divided into segments. Critical operation areas, non-critical areas, pre-preparation areas, use of 100 ppm chlorine for sanitizing non-vegetarian items, 50 ppm chlorine for vegetable items, cost management during crisis period, focus on self-registration and self-service feature while latest technologies. Change in this process may include mandatory sanitizing checklist, no reuse of amenities, guests to leave the in-room service tray outside their room, providing liquid sanitizer, which should have 70% alcohol rather than gel-based sanitizers, use of waterproof mattress and pillow protectors. Mattresses need to be sanitized after every checkout. Screening provision at foyer entrance and time office. Mandatory use of 3-layered face mask. Use of sodium hypochlorite to sanitize the receiving area. Use of high power sanitizer blower at bell desk to sanitize guest luggage. Delinking the biometric attendance for the staff. Educators should also include elementary knowledge on the possible communicable diseases, importance of social distancing and its impact on guests. Students along with the present employees should be advised to pursue certificate course on COVID-19. It's the time when educators need to prepare their students to stand firm against the epidemic situation and move forward with the same confident smile. For the third point, the industry and academicians need to be on the same platform discussing how the training needs to be changed to students also. And that was one of the major reasons why we got in touch with Mr. Tushar Abroad. I want to take this as an opportunity to take you a tour of an iconic property of Taj Hotel that was covered by CNBC TV 18, how this property is gearing up for the new norms post-COVID. This is a beautiful video covered by CNBC.
The Maharashtra government has allowed hotels and lodges to open up outside of containment areas with restricted capacity of 33% or less. I'm standing outside the Taj Mahal Palace, Colaba in Mumbai. Taj Mahal Palace is an iconic property which has been counted as one of the tourist destinations in Mumbai. It has been shut for commercial operations since the 25th of March, but it has been housing repatriation guests as well as healthcare workers. Let's go in as they begin their commercial operations to understand how prepared they are. What you see over here is essentially an entire contactless check-in. So if you have already registered or if you've done your checking prior to coming into the hotel, you get the registration form which you can fill online and email it to the hotel. And the second thing is that you get a health declaration form which you email directly to the hotel. If you are a walk-in customer, you get a QR code. So you basically scan this and you get your details onto your phone and you submit it on your phone. So it's entirely contactless, and as you can see, they have ensured that there is a glass separation which ensures the social distancing norms, and if there is a line, there are social distancing markers on a regular basis to ensure that the norms are met.
Several IHCL's hotels in Mumbai, Delhi and elsewhere have been operating throughout the pandemic, and we've operated for assisting healthcare workers and doctors for having them stay with us, and also repatriation guests. So not quarantining patients per se, but repatriation and arrivals into India have been hosted by us.
If I was a guest, I would ask, what is the guarantee that, when I enter the room,
Yes.
every surface is completely scrubbed and disinfected? That's one. Second, I would also want a guarantee that if I leave the room, how often is it going to be cleaned? How do I ensure safety then?
Okay, so to answer your first question, when you arrive, you can be assured that the room has been rested for anything between 48 to 72 hours.
Okay.
Okay, which means that it's been rested after it's been completely misted.
Salons have been opened up, but only for haircuts for men and women and waxing. So stuff like head massages, manicure, pedicure, facials that require a lot of touch has been completely cancelled out. And if you can see over here, they have followed social distancing norms here in the seating as well. So that machine cannot be used, and it has a cross over there, and that can. at the Shamiana restaurant. It's the only restaurant that's going to be open in Taj Mahal, at least in the first phase of unlock. What you can see over here is basically social distance norms being followed. Only 50% capacity is going to be followed. So, there used to be almost 8 to 9 seats over here, and it's been cut down significantly. The total capacity was about 120. It's been cut down by almost 50 to 60%. When I was taking my plates, there was a paper bag wrapped up, and my cutlery was also wrapped up in a paper bag. So, what the company is trying to do is ensure at every stage there are social distancing norms and hygiene norms being followed. With camera person Yogesh Tambe in Mumbai, Kritika Saxena.
Thank you, Surendra sir. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable contribution. It was really very interesting to hear about your views and opinion, and the video you shared was really very informative, and I'm sure all the participants will agree with me to the same. Moving ahead, I would also like to add a few lines to what you have shared and Mr. Tushar have shared with us, that the travel industry and the entire world for that matter is currently facing a situation which they have never seen earlier, the current pandemic situation, the post-COVID-19. For that reason, I think it's very important to acknowledge to everyone that there is no expert on this topic. Just a group of industry experts who are trying to figure out how to best navigate a very difficult and unpredictable situation we are currently facing. Moving ahead, now we are ready for the question answer round, and just a quick reminder again to all the participants. If they have any questions, they can please write them in the chat box section in your Zoom control panel. And I'll just quickly check if we have any questions with us. I think we have got a first question, and this question is for Mr. Tushar Abral. So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, please go on.
Okay. So the question is, do hotels and restaurant businesses still stand a chance in time of social distancing? How can the industry counteract this latent fear of too much closeness in restaurants, bars, planes, and trains? So basically, we have a fear now, the customers, that they'll not be able to maintain the social distancing in the hotel. So how the hotel industry can counteract with this?
So I think some parts of your question have been illustrated through the presentation and also in the video that you just saw. So I think it was a mindset that social distancing cannot be maintained, but hotels have also broken that mindset by actually, through these videos and demonstrations and a lot of promotional material where we've shown you and we've practiced it in our hotels that it can be maintained. So whether it is the restaurant, whether it is a banquet function also, some hotels are doing that, whether it is check-in, check-out. So we are only trying to unlock essential services. So like you saw in the example of salon, wherever there is contact, we are trying to avoid those services. But where in other services, essential services, we are trying to minimize the contact through these innovative practices. So yes, the guests also may think that, kaise hoga, how will it happen? But when they see these videos, when they see travelers, when they actually visit the hotels, they will see that, just even if you've seen planes, there have been new norms of travelers, middle seat, vacant, use of PPE, etc. So similarly, just like the hotel has got used to it and has practiced it, the guests will also see the new changes. And when they actually see the changes, some of them, through word of mouth, it will travel. And the guests will get slowly more and more confident about actually traveling. So while they may not travel out for a holiday, but then, they will definitely travel out for something important. So yes, we know that the guests will not travel long distances and use of trains and planes for leisure. That will not happen for times to come. But definitely, I can talk about NCR, Delhi, where Delhiites are also traveling to, maybe by their own personal car, they are traveling to resorts on Sona Road. I also know the Gateway Resort, Damdama Lake, is getting guests. So local travelers who can travel in their own vehicle are traveling, and they know that the hotel will take, if it's a good brand, if it's a good hotel, they trust you. They know that you will be taking all the precautions, and they know that they will be able to maintain physical distance when they're actually in the hotel. So I think this fear is slowly and steadily starting to go. And as customers travel more through word of mouth and through publicity and marketing, it will become better.
Thank you, sir. And now we have a next question, and this is from a participant named Arun. And the question says, many customers, especially in the corporate sector, have now learned that things work without face-to-face interactions and face-to-face meetings, thanks to the new video calls, Skype, Zoom, and etc. What do these experiences mean for the future MICE business of the hotel? Does this change in the setup have serious business consequences of the hotel industry?
Good question. So in short term, I would say yes. In long term, maybe no. See, short term, people are trying to get onto virtual platforms like you and I are also sitting in a virtual classroom at the moment. But are you saying that you will permanently run your college this way? No, that may not happen. So I think these are times when we do not have a choice. People need people. People like to meet people. And when you have a face-to-face environment, the connection is much different. So yes, these are short-term reactions, but in the long term, people want to interact and meet and travel and see each other, shake hands. That is how we are as social beings. So as and when these times improve, we will see life coming back to normal. This is the new normal for a few months or maybe for a year or two, but eventually things will go back to how we usually behave. Yes, of course, there will be focus on hygiene, but physical distancing norms will relax. Meetings will relax, traveling bans will relax, people will slowly get out and travel. So wherever they can, maybe to avoid traffic or maybe to avoid cost, companies may go for certain virtual programs. But I mean, there may be a certain reduction, but travel will still happen. People will still like to meet people face to face. That's our human nature. So maybe it's just a matter of time.
Right. Thank you, sir. And the next question, I'll take the next question. And the question is from Nishant. And the question is, what lessons do we as an industry have to learn from this global lockdown?
So I think there are many learnings. So one learning which I can immediately think of is that the use of technology itself, being digital. So you saw things like, emailing, for example, the registration card. I mean, these are things which we could have done earlier as well. These were not great innovations, I would say. But something, we were kind of just waiting for something like this to happen to trigger us and push us to try these things out. So yes, we've tried new ways of operating, new digital methods, use of technology. So all these were not tested earlier. And this is something that we've learned, that these are also available tools that we can use. Secondly, I think we've learned a lot of new ways to stay more hygienic and clean. We actually, in some of our hotels, we got hospital teams, we got doctors, medical practitioners who actually educated us on how they do it in the hospital. And we've actually picked up a lot of good practices from there. So last 2-3 months have actually been a lot of learning for organizations, for managers, and eventually for the associates. So these are two immediate learnings that I see. The third learning that I can talk about is about being creative and innovative. So, yes, we learned that we cannot continue to work the way we were. We have to think out of the box. We have to collaborate. We have to learn from best practices, and we have to research. Industry hoteliers usually do not like to sit on a computer and research and see what's happening around the world. We are not very good at that. We are very good on the shop floor. But I think these are times when we need to also reflect back and see, can we do things differently? And that is the biggest, whether it is, technology is just one part, but even running a business can be done differently. Why could we not serve food earlier? Why could we not have a cumin earlier? Why could we not do home delivery earlier? So these new business practices have also emerged. So I think these times have just made us open our minds and come up with these new innovative and creative ideas.
Thank you, sir. And I think we have we have covered all the questions and the presentations and the videos and the PPTs you have showed. I believe that most of the questions are already covered in these presentations. So is there anything else you would like to share with us, Mr. Abrol?
Sorry, I just saw one more question. I think it went in the huge list of chat. There was another question about biometric systems. So yes, hotels have also stopped doing the physical biometric machine. And now we are using an app. So different hotels must be using different apps. So if you are, it detects your GPS location. And if you are physically present in the hotel as per the GPS location, you can be marked present using that app. So it is, you're still touching your smartphone only. You're not using the biometric machine, common machine in the time office. So that is another example of how we've changed. I don't see any other questions, so I think we are good to go. I think just my some last words from my side to all of you would be to stay optimistic. You know, these are not times when we should be thinking that, oh my God, will we have jobs? We will definitely have jobs. You know, people will need people at the end of the day. People will start traveling. The moment guests start coming to our hotels, we will need all our associates back in the hotel. So these are not the times to worry about that. What we should be worrying about is how best we are making use of this time. Are we really upskilling? There are a lot of sites, a lot of external agencies like AHLEI and many sites which are also offering free courses in these times. So I think all of us as students especially should go online, learn, do a lot of self-study, use this time well, because going ahead, it will be a little bit of competition when you are applying. And I think those of you who make the best use of this time to learn will be able to showcase your learning in your interviews. And even as associates, you will perform better. So use this time well, study, research, collaborate, and don't waste this time. Make the best use of it and come out as a winner. That's all I would say for the businesses also and at an individual level also.
Thank you, Mr. Abroad. It was really a great learning session for all the participants and for us as well. Thank you so much again. Now I would request Mr. Manish Budoni, Principal, School of Hospitality Management, to conclude the webinar by giving a thank you note to all the participants.
Take the privilege to thank Mr. Tushar Abroad for accepting our proposal and enlightening all the participants. I want to thank Mr. Jitendra Joshi, Chancellor of Ranchal University, and Professor Dr. Rajesh Bhoguna, Vice Chancellor of Ranchal University, to be always an inspiration and supporting us. The last but not the least, I want to thank my team of School of Hospitality Management, Ranchal University, my students, and all the participants. Stay safe and stay blessed. Over to Bakuni, sir.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the participants, for joining us today. We appreciate you being here. And I'll be sharing the feedback link in the chat box now. And also I'll be screen sharing the QR code for the same. And please fill the form and submit the form. And as the e-certificates will be shared to all of you